Good morning and welcome to the Ugly Truth. As you know, we had the first game of the season uh, this morning between the Dodgers and the Cubs. Dodgers ended up coming out ahead 4-1. I want to put a shout out and appreciation for all those who viewed my play-by-play this morning. I had a good time and uh, enjoyed calling the game for y'all. As usual, today is going to be another open panel, and I am dropping the link in the chat for those who want to come up. And today, I want to talk about who we think is going to be our 26 men for the opening day roster for the Yankees. Obviously, it's been a injury plagued season, and we have had a lot of key players go down. Uh, but throughout this spring training, we've seen some players play beyond expectation, some worthy of making the roster, some not. Uh, if I want to give a shout out to the folks who are here, start with Cold Italian Pizza, Stephen B, FJ, Sean Browning, uh, John the Beagle Dad, and Lou. Appreciate the support. Appreciate y'all being here. Like I says, this is an open panel. I've dropped the link, so if you want to hop up, uh, we can continue the conversation. I'm going to start out with my calls for the opening day rotation. Obviously, we have voices a little bit sore because I called the entire first game by myself. So used to usually having a partner to split time with. So please excuse me taking a lot of sips of water. And if my voice sounds a little hoarse, well, it is. Uh, but with regard to the opening day rotation, the way I see it, we're going to have Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, Marcus Stroman, uh, Will Warren, and Clark Schmidt. I know that they are pushing on uh, Clark Schmidt's first start, uh, but it appears that his back problems have subsided. He has been throwing solid bullpens, and I think he's gonna be available. Uh, any thoughts? Does anybody see anything different with regard to uh, the rotation? I don't know if I mentioned it, but I saw uh, Lou hop in. So good morning, Lou. Thank you for supporting the channel. As you can tell, I am not in my normal location. I'm in Philadelphia looking after my mother. My sister had to go out of town on a business trip, so I've got to cover her for the week. Uh, okay, we have Sean Browning's pick for the rotation, and he has Freed, Rodon, Stroman, Carrasco, Schmidt/Warren. Hello, Graham. Welcome, and welcome, Dev. Mom is doing okay. She's got her health care provider with her right now, so I get a break and I can actually do this. This morning when I called the game, she was asleep, so that was even better. But she's doing as well as can be expected. So thank you for asking, Dev. Uh, if and welcome, Ray. Just saw you hop in. The the first game of the season, we saw Imanaga and uh, Yamamoto matchup. They went. Imanaga went 4 innings and gave up 4 walks. Uh, Yamamoto went 5 innings and did very well. But what we saw from the opening game of the season is heavy reliance on both bullpens, and I think that that is going to be a key factor for us for the first month or so with regard to uh, the Yankees getting out to a good start as a strong bullpen, and we have plenty of arms out there. Uh, what I'm thinking for the bullpen is Carlos Carrasco is going to start out in the bullpen as a long man, keep him stretched out, and in the event that we need a spot starter or somebody to come in for the long haul, that he is going to be the man. All right, I see Sean available, so I'm bringing him up. Sean, thank you.
All right. How you doing?
Not bad, not bad.
But yeah,
Uh, Go ahead.
like you were saying with the it's gonna be a heavy reliance on the bullpen for the first week or so, while the starting pitchers have gotten up to that 75 to 100 pitches, threshold, right? Because you don't want to like just throw 100 bullets and then risk throwing your arm out and be done for the season. But the reason I was saying Carrasco probably gets the edge over Warren is because they either gotta have him offer him a starting position, a spot in the rotation, or release him. I've heard whatever the option, but his contract. And he's a veteran. He's an innings eater, but I do like Warren. I just see him as a spot starter for now. But if Schmidt's back keeps barking, and he has to go down for a few weeks, I would put Warren in there.
Okay. Comment from FJ. Doesn't Carrasco have a March opt out? And he might take a chance to start somewhere. He does have an opt out. And I think that putting Carrasco in the bullpen, he makes the major league roster, which is something that he wants to do. He feels the need for us to be a long man out of the pen or a starter out of the pen. He's got years in his career, and the bullpen as I envision it, I see Carrasco as our long guy, Yoendris Gomez being part of the rotation or the pen. He's pitched well during spring training. Plus, he has no options left. So I think that while he's pitching well, he's up on the major league roster. Then we have Mark Leiter Jr., Tim Hill, Fernando Cruz, the pitcher that we acquired, the fireball that we acquired from the Cincinnati Reds in the Trevino trade. I hadn't really been overly impressed with his spring training. He's got swing and miss stuff, but I think that he has some work to go. But and I'm not sure of his option history. If he has any options left, possibly not. Uh, Ian Hamilton, Luke Weaver, and closing out is Devin Williams. Uh, we have got Kirk Cousins, who has started throwing, and I think that eventually he's going to end up on the major league roster. And we have Jonathan Loizaga also down there. So, in the short interim, until those two guys are back, this is how I see the bullpen. What do you think?
Yeah, I think, like you said, the back end is solidified with Weaver set up and Williams, Devin Williams, the airbender, being our closer. But getting to him, I see. I would like to see what Fernando Cruz has in the regular season, and then whether we use him in the high leverage spots or if he's just going to be our middle relief guy. But it's nice that he does throw that heat. And then Leiter, I would probably keep toward the middle reliever. I wouldn't really try to trust him on the high leverage end, with the 6th or 7th inning. But I also would see. I'm trying to remember who else. But then a lot of our other arms that we would have trusted are injured. Loizaga is hurt. Efros is hurt, even though he can't stay healthy. And Cousins, he's nursing something. But I would have Tim Hill probably toward the back end, like right before you bring in Weaver.
The two other players that are injured that could augment the bullpen: Tyler Matzik, left-handed reliever who has been shelved for a while, and JT Brubaker.
Yeah.
Brubaker is another guy who is capable of being a long reliever and a spot starter, but his first spring training outing, he took a shot to the ribs and broke 3 ribs.
Right.
So
And
you're talking on the shelf for 6 weeks until he'll be able to start throwing again.
Yeah.
And when he'll be available, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because you gotta wait till 6 to 8 weeks for the ribs to heal and reset back in place, and then he's gotta have a workout and all that stuff before he can actually rehab in the minors, and then you can use him in the. So yeah, you're looking at half the season before he can get to the majors.
Just seeing Max from Max Coverage TV hop in. Thanks, brother. Welcome.
Hey, Max.
Appreciate the support. Don't know if you caught any of it, but I called the opening day game. Had some folks in there viewing. It was a fun time. Interesting game, to say the least, especially with the way the Japanese support baseball, and even more interesting when Otani came up, how the stadium was quiet. You could hear a needle drop, and after he got his 2 hits, they erupted and were excited, and when he scored, they were excited. So much different than the Yankee approach, or the Major League Baseball approach here in America, because they're getting booed the whole time. So.
Mm-hmm. I think in Japan, their culture, they're high on respect and honor. And then I was hearing Buck Martinez during the spring training broadcast against the Jays. Since the Jays were home, we had to listen to Buck Martinez and whoever was the play-by-play guy. But he was talking about how they have like from on both sides on the foul lines. If you got the field level seats, they have a milk basket with a helmet and a glove, but they don't take it home with them, but they use it while they're there in the seat during the game.
I
And
see NFE has hopped in from the strike zone, and yo, back at you, brother. Answering your question, Max, the game had its ups and downs. It went very fast, actually. Little over 2 hours to call the complete game. Uh, the Dodgers pitching and back end was dominant. Their bullpen came out and was incredible. Cubs pitching, Imanaga only made it through 4 innings. He walked 4 batters, but he didn't give up a run or a hit. The Cubs bullpen didn't hold up as well. And the guys on the back end got tagged. The overall count, I think, was 9 hits for the Dodgers and 8 walks. So they had 17 runners on base, and they scored 4 runs. So they're getting on base. Situational hitting wasn't great.
That's a village that's left on the bases right there.
Oh yeah, that was the Yankees last year, and that's what I'm not hoping to see this year.
Right.
Cold Italian pizza, guys. I think we have an argument that Gomez has earned his spot in the bullpen. He hasn't given up an earned run and at all this spring. And Cold Italian pizza, I completely agree with you. That's why I've got him slotted on my roster. Plus, the other caveat is that he doesn't have any options. So if we don't put him on the major league roster, we lose him. And I think he's just too good to let walk.
But I mean, I even use him toward the back end of the bullpen to help Weber out with setting up for Williams. Cause yeah, like I said, he's had that spring where he didn't allow an earned run. He's got great stuff, and we got an improved infield defense. You know, the problem last year we had with him was when his stuff did get tagged. We didn't have a great infield defense, or it was hit where our outfielders couldn't get it.
Yep. The other problem that Gomez had last season too was he had a lot of walks.
Yeah.
So when you're coming in to relieve, you just can't have the free passes because, as we always say, free passes always kill you in the end. They usually come around and score and hurt you. So.
Oh yeah, they do. I mean, just look at how all these rosters are set up. You know, like let's say you walk somebody in front of Vlad Jr. You walk Bichette, although he barely walks. And then Vlad hits a homer. That's a 2-run homer instead of a solo. You know, and yeah, that kills you. You know, walks and errors that kill you like crazy.
Completely agree. All right, let's move on. Obviously, our starting catcher for this season is going to be Austin Wells. And the first baseman will be Paul Goldschmidt. Second baseman, Jazz Chisholm. Obviously, Anthony Volpe is the shortstop. I'm making my call that the opening starter for third base is going to be Yorbid Vivas. He has showed incredible glove. He's hit extremely well during spring training after he was finally put into games, and he's a good all-around player. He has positional versatility, play third base. I don't know if he plays shortstop or not, but I know he plays second base. So I like him being there. Uh, Oswaldo Peraza was my initial call, but he's hitting in the 180s now. He hasn't looked good at the plate over the last 2 weeks, and his glove is still solid, no doubt about it. But I don't think that he's done enough to make the roster, and I think we're going to end up losing him. Uh, so I'm making my call for Vivas. And then the standard outfield, we will start with Aaron Judge, Cody Bellinger, and Jason Dominguez. Uh, I don't think they're. Do you have any different thoughts at third base? I don't think the other positions are really in question.
Yeah. With third base, I still see it. My gut tells me it's going to be a platoon with Cabrera and either Vivas, maybe even, I mean, because like Peraza, the problem is he's got a major league glove, but he's got a quadruple A bat. Because they'll tear it up in triple A and then come up here and maybe get a few hits, but then he's going to be ice cold at the plate. And we don't really want to have that. I want to support the guy. I like the guy, but it's just it's hard when you just keep seeing that, and it's not the first time that it's been like that with him. Every time he's come up with the majors, like he was hot when that first time he came up in 22 or whatever it was, and we benched Torres, and he was hot, and then Volpe beat him out in the next spring, and then he just hasn't gotten it together offensively. But I think for third, I honestly think Vivas. I was watching him the last couple of games. Dude is solid defensively, and I seen him do that short hop, take that short hop and turn two. Although I would have liked to seen him try to, but that would have ate up, some other guys at third base. But he made it. He made it work. So I mean, Velasquez is kind of a wild card. I mean, he's got major league experience, but he hasn't really blown it away from the other guys,
Squid's a solid ball player. He played well for the Yankees. Last year, he didn't have an opportunity to play in the major leagues, but in spring training, he showed what he's got, and it's major league talent. Whether he stays with us as depth down at AAA or whether he wants to move on, I like his glove. I like his speed. I like his bat. I mean, the guy loves being a Yankee and he gives his all. But I'm not sure that he actually makes the roster.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, like you said, that speed. But we got plenty of speed on the roster.
I think that our DH is going to be Dom Smith. I think that he has definitely earned it. I like the way that he attacks the ball. Everything he hits is hard, whether it's an out of the park or double into the power alleys. He is a solid bat.
Yeah,
we've seen him out in the field playing left field, and he's played first base, so he's got some positional versatility.
Yeah,
and I like what he's showing. I think that he's proven that we didn't need to go out and sign a bat like JD Martinez for his $8 to $10 million for this season. Uh,
No.
we still don't know what's going on with Stanton, but I'm walking it through like uh, Giancarlo is not going to be up with the team this year. I just have the gut feeling that he's going to end up with uh, elbow surgery, and now reports are coming out about him having a calf issue.
Yeah,
So
I think this season's kind of lost for Big G. I mean, I would love to get him back for August, September, and October. Stantober. But I'm not. I mean, because especially the tennis elbows and it's double, and before he wasn't able to really lift everyday items, so you know, and then now you got the lingering calf, which is always does him in. Um,
well, you're looking that he is on round 3 of PRP shots. Uh, they're going to go possibly up to 5 to see what their net results are. There's been some words coming out of the Yankee front office that he could be back by Memorial Day.
yeah.
That would be fantastic. I just don't see it. And honestly, I don't trust the Yankee front office because when it comes to player statuses and injuries, they lie. They haven't been
Mm-hmm.
upfront about a lot of them.
They lie more
So
than the CIA.
yeah,
Uh, the but no, I see Dom Smith making it, and then with him being able to play first and left field, you can rotate out with Judge. You could rotate with Goldie. Um, Even if Bellinger, but Bellinger, I could see him playing every day. Um, and you can rotate different for the DH spot. For backup catcher, uh, I think Escara probably edges out Ben Rice and Alan Jackson.
okay. For the bench, I have 3 that I'm pretty sure about. I believe that JC Escarra has earned the backup catcher role. Uh, Trent Grisham, definitely our 4th outfielder with his defense. Plus, he's been killing it with the bat. He's been hitting home runs like no tomorrow, and
Is he
who
using
knows?
Judge's bat?
I don't know whose bat he's using, but he's doing a pretty good job, and I could see him as a rotational with Dom Smith at the DH slot. Obviously, I believe that Oswaldo Cabrera is going to make the roster as our versatile bench player. He's got positional versatility, being able to play in the outfield, third, shortstop, second, and first. So he's like a Swiss Army knife, and that's where I think that his true value is. His
Mm-hmm.
bat is not consistent, but when he hits it hard. The kid always is smiling. You can't get him down, and he plays his heart out. I can
Yeah.
respect a player like that. Uh, my wild card for making the roster, I don't believe that Ben Rice makes it because, frankly, I've never seen the Yankees truly carry 3 catchers, and even in the spring training games, he doesn't look very good. Uh, with regard to needing a backup at first base, you have Cody Bellinger, who is also a first baseman,
Mm-hmm.
and if we're pulling Dom Smith, that's a second first baseman. Uh,
And then you got
I think
Waldo.
I think the guy that makes the roster is Pablo Reyes. Reyes has taken a lot of at bats this spring training. The Yankees have given him a good look. He plays second and third, I know for sure. His OPS is, I want to say 850 or something. And every time he gets in there to hit, he's attacking the ball.
Yeah.
One of the things that I thought that we were missing over the past few years is those players that you could send in to hit and actually have an impact, as opposed to the folks that we had last year,
Mm-hmm.
Jumai Jones and JD Davis, people that you
Yeah.
knew weren't going to do anything coming to the plate, even though they were pinch hitting for somebody.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we don't have the Chili Davis or the Tim, the Rock, Hank, Rains, Tim Raines, or even Homer Bush and some of those other guys that could put the ball in play. Luis Sojo, Vizcaino, uh, where whether they came in or whether they were having a rare start, those bench guys could make a hit, put the ball in play. I mean, the other day I was surprised when I saw Duke Ellis put that bunt with nobody on and 2 outs.
I think that Duke Ellis may be one of the fastest players in the major leagues, and I love his speed. It's
Oh
just
yeah,
who is he going to break into the? He's a straight outfielder. He has
right.
got speed and he can play anywhere in the outfield. But where is he going to break in at?
Yeah, and
Uh, excuse me for a sec. This
yeah,
camera is sitting so that I'm looking straight up.
all right, take it down. But
All
yeah,
right,
and
that's
then I
better
agree
for
with
me.
you. I think Pablo Reyes would be that fourth bench piece because you got Cabrera, you got Grisham, and you got Escara as your backup catcher, and Cabrera. He plays too many positions, and he's got that versatility. And if you bring in about Vivas or whatever, he's that guy that can help. You can use as a platoon guy. Um, but uh, but yeah,
And
Reyes there, and like Duke Ellis.
FJ brings up a point with regard to Rice that I completely agree with. That he needs to play every day, and that's only going to happen in the minors. He's not going to get that everyday play uh, with the big
Yeah,
team.
yeah, and I agree with that too. Cause right, and also I want to say this. My observation is like Rice is a better first baseman than he is a catcher, or at least he looks better at first.
Wholeheartedly agree because he looks like a soup sandwich to me behind the plate. He doesn't have a good pop time. His throws to the second base are not accurate. Uh, he may have been a good pitch framer, but with the way that the ABS system uh, was working, you didn't have to be a good pitch framer. I know we're not using it for
Mm-hmm.
this upcoming season, but it may be something in the future. So pitch framing may be something that becomes irrelevant.
Yeah, but I mean, you remember in the old days, a whole lot of guys didn't try to run on Posada because he had such elite pop time and he had a cannon for an arm.
Well,
Um,
that was the same instance that you had with uh, Gary Sanchez. Sanchez had one of the quickest pop times in Major League Baseball and quick release time. The problem was he just couldn't catch the damn ball.
right. Yeah. No, I mean, if you're a catcher nowadays and you don't have that insane a quick pop time, especially with these bigger bases and a quick release, runners are going to be running on you all the time because, especially when you got one of those slow wind up pitchers like Stroman or some of the other guys.
Yep.
You know, because I mean, when it like Tribino, like we saw it last year with the Red Sox ran out and stole 9 bases on Tribino.
So those of you that are out there, Are there any wild cards that you're thinking are going to make the roster? If so, who are they? I am, although uh, we're facing some adversity with injuries. I'm looking forward to the season. I think that the team is going to do well. Uh, I still believe that uh, we're going to take the AL East.
Yeah. I mean, I still believe, and yeah, I'm just an optimistic fan, but yeah, I'm excited for the season, and I believe even with our injuries and Cole being down for the whole year and Stan probably gone for the whole season, that Freed, Rodon, that Judge, and Goldie and Bellinger will carry the team, and with everyone stepping up around them, I think we'll probably win the East, and we might even have the top seed in the AL, which would be good. And hopefully we make it back to the World Series. I would love that.
A lot of the early season predictions for the Yankees were to win uh, 95 plus games. After we had the injuries, a lot of the predictions have been readjusted down to the uh, mid to low 80s. So
I mean,
I think that with regard to the rotation obviously isn't as strong as it was uh, when we initially thought the season was coming up. Uh, However, Garrett Cole going down, Max Fried stepping in as the number one, I can live with it. You look at Luis Heel, him coming back after 3 months, just before the trade deadline, is just like a brand new pitcher that we're adding. That's high
yeah,
quality strikeout guy, uh, and he's not going to be as worn down for the back half of the season. So I'm encouraged by that, and
it's
hopefully Clark Schmidt can take it to the next level and be able to pitch more than 75 damn pitches a game and make it out of the fifth inning. That would be a
yeah,
wonderful thing. And Will Warren, he is our true wild card. Uh,
mm-hmm.
but you look at last year when Garrett Cole went down, uh, Luis Hill had been assigned to AAA ball club. They brought him up, and he was lights out until the All Star break, or just before the All Star break. Hell, they were talking about him being the All Star uh, starting pitcher. Uh, People were putting him in the conversation for the Cy Young Award. Uh, so, who's to say that we can't get lightning in the bottle twice? And Will
Oh yeah,
Warren, after his rocky start last year, I attribute part of his downfall for being not really having adequate prep time. A lot of his starts, he was in the minor leagues, got called up and told you're going to go
yeah,
spot start today. That doesn't really give you prep time. Plus,
yeah,
honestly, our defense was crappy. And
yeah.
if you're a
I
ground
mean,
ball pitcher and you're dependent on the infield to stop balls, that's not going to bode well.
right. And it's tough being a spot starter. But the way I see when Hill comes back from the injury, it's kind of like when we were in the military and or you're deployed either at sea or like when I was in Iraq, and uh, guys that would join our unit late, but they'd come and join us while we're deployed, reinforcements, you know, and yeah, when the reinforcements got up, everybody was like, "Yeah, all right, let's go," Because I mean, you know, especially when you're like only got so many people, you barely meet, and everybody's doing their part, but the reinforcements come in and everyone feels revitalized, and I think that's the way I see it in like sports when guys coming back from injuries. It's like, all right, come on, let's go. And then, I mean, look at what our rotation did without Cole last year. I mean, it still sucked that Cole was down with the elbow deal. But that first half, we went like on a all-time record, consecutive. All the starters had like this consecutive starts with like less than 3 runs or whatever it was.
Yep.
I was like, man.
I truly believe that this year's Yankees squad is better than the 2024 version with Juan Soto. I mean, granted, we had a lot of uh, upper pop in the top of the lineup, but when it came to soup to nuts in the bottom half,
Yeah.
the run production was not very good. A lot of strikeouts. Uh, I'm just amazed that teams just didn't start walking Judge from the word Jump Street after he started hitting. But
Just give them the old Bonds treatment. But I mean,
yep,
but you had, yeah. I mean, you had last year. We had the big three. I mean, yes, Judge and Soto did a lot of primarily, but Stanton all season long, even though he was, his streaky self, dude was like, he was hidden, and he was a presence. So it was kind of like you got to pick your poison as a pitcher. But yeah, I mean, but there was too many hit and miss and too many holes in our lineup. Guys struggling, and there wasn't a whole lot of situational hitting aside from those three. Um, you
well, I will tell you that I am very encouraged from this spring training up and down the board. Situational hitting has been much improved. Uh, Nothing used to throw me more ballistic than we would have runners at second and third with one out, and we wouldn't score them.
right?
There was no we hit into more double plays than you can shake a stick at, uh, and calling balls and strikes, doing the play by play with NFE. Uh, I saw more elevator shaft home runs to the infield than you can imagine. I just would go crazy about that stuff.
Oh yeah,
This year, uh, we have done the small things. When we have a runner at second with uh, one out, we're having productive outs where we're advancing those runners uh, to the next base to put them in a better position to score. We've started to use uh, more so our speed aspect of the team. I love watching the team take the extra base on the hit or uh, steal to give themselves an extra base, or to the double steal, which we saw a lot in tandem with Volpe and Jazz. But those are all good things, and I think that our offense is going to be as productive, if not more productive, than last year. And with
yeah,
the change in the bench pieces, where we actually have people that can come off the bench and actually hit, uh, that'll help too.
yeah. They yeah. I think this whole team is more like Cashman was more active about making the team more complete this year. I mean, yeah. Did I feel like he kind of backed off after he was he got Bellinger and Goldie? Yeah, I mean was kind of frustrating. But yeah, but I mean, but the team overall, I mean, you got a mix of old veterans like Goldie and Bellinger and Freed, and you got a lot of youth mixed in there from our farm, which we were complaining a couple years ago. Play the kids, play the kids. And now they're playing the kids, and people are like, well, they're not doing, or as soon as like Dominguez was struggling in left field, and people were like, oh, he's a bust. He's not a bust. We got to let him play a full season yet. He hasn't even played a full season yet, and he hit his first at bat. He hit a home run off of Verlander.
Yeah. Comment from Cold Italian Pizza. The Yankees really need a right-handed hitter off the bench. Any suggestions who that might be?
Tell Cabrera
Is that an internal question, or is that something that we look for on the outside?
Well, I mean, Cabrera is a switch hitter. We can have him bat from the right.
Yeah, but Cabrera hits like shit from the right.
Well, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if you would trade, or would you bring one of the? I mean, Velasquez, isn't he a right-hander or is he lefty?
Actually, I don't know off the top of my head. Anybody help us with that? Stephen B's comment: we have a better fundamental baseball and situational hitting than last year. Completely agree on that point too. Are there any points of concern with you for this year's team?
My points of concern, aside from injuries, which we've kind of been beating that dead horse with injuries, is really, are we going to over rely on Aaron Judge, or are we going to over rely on the bullpen? But I mean, I'm not too concerned with as far as the lineup, because Goldie and Bellinger will help with Judge. But aside from that, I want everybody to step up and lengthen the lineup. They don't gotta hit home runs all the time. Just put the ball in play and do the fundamental things. And then my other concern too is those late inning times when Boone does something like puts in the wrong guy, or does something that totally backfires.
Boone is going to be Boone. There are no zero defect managers. He's going to make mistakes just like every other manager. Because we're Yankee fans, they tend to be magnified a shitload more whenever he does anything. Then you'll start hearing the outcry of fire Boone, fire Cashman, all that bullshit.
Yeah. House of the
not
team.
interested. Not truly interested in that. If I was looking at concern areas for me, during spring training, Anthony Volpe hasn't looked good defensively, and his bat seems like it regressed. I know that they've clocked his bat speed as being higher in the low to mid 70s, which is a good swing, especially with the power. When he's connecting, you can tell the ball is being hit hard. It's a question that he seems to be striking out a lot. The other concern is Jazz Chisholm. Jazz Chisholm seems to have become a strikeout bandit. Although he has struck out a lot in his career, it just seems that every time he goes up to the plate, he's looking to hit the bomb. And his strength is the ability of pop, but speed. Put the ball in play. He can beat a lot of throws out in the infield. And then obviously the left field situation with Dominguez's defense.
Right.
He has got speed. He has got pop in the bat. Do you think he's taking better routes to balls in left field now? Is he still making the same mistakes that you saw last season and the early part of spring training? What are you seeing?
I mean, I've seen him slightly improve on his routes, and he's either catching the ball or even if it drops in front of him, or he gets there and he gets the ball into the infield quickly, which is a lot better. I mean, Volpe, I mean, Dominguez, I'm gonna be patient with and see how he does in the regular season. But yeah, I mean, he's slightly improved since he's been working with Bernie. So that seems to be helping. And maybe even Bellinger's helping him too. But Volpe, yeah, I'm slightly concerned, but I'm not. He's been, skidded, but I think when he's trying too hard at the plate, what I've seen here is like he's trying to hit that ball a country mile every time. And if I was Boone or Osmus, I would come up to him and be like, "Hey, with your speed, all you got to do is, find the holes in the infield, or hit toward the gaps, spray the ball around." Cause, yeah, but I think he'll turn it around in the regular season and push closer to being a 250 hitter. But I want to see more consistency from him. And then with Jazz, with him being in his natural position, but yeah, offensively, I want to see him just get on base any way. If he's got to be a singles, doubles hitter more than he's going to be a home run hitter, I'm fine with that.
So, what do you think, Sean, is Wells' hitting position? Is he going to be our leadoff hitter this year?
The way they've been using him in spring, he's probably hit a leadoff more than other people. I think he'll be. I think we'll actually have our first ever catcher as a leadoff hitter in the major leagues, and be Austin Wells. And
well, they've had leadoff hitters in the major leagues before.
Okay.
JT Realmuto's done it, and the kid down in St. Louis, his name.
Okay.
They've let off, but the Yankees have never had a catcher as a leadoff hitter.
Well, yeah, because traditionally in the old days, catcher batted in front of the pitcher. So, okay. But yeah, I mean, I could see him being our first Yankee, catcher being a hitting leadoff. I mean, the dude's got pop. He's getting on base. And then he's not as fast as. I mean, he's got some speed for a catcher, but he's not Volpe. Because if you're worried about him distracting Judge with the dancing between first and second. But yeah, I mean, it's either you put Wells in leadoff and get consistent that ball in play consistently, or he's getting on, or you're risking Volpe, Dominguez, or Jazz Chisholm in left field, and you're going to get hot and cold like we did last year with Volpe and Torres.
Well, when they actually put Torres in the leadoff spot, he found his form in a very good leadoff hitter. But the beginning of the
season, he was cold as, and then and because Volpe was hot, they threw him in the leadoff. And then he did all right for a couple of weeks, and then he went cold again.
Well, you have to remember, too, Volpe in the in the leadoff slot had 21 straight games that he
Yeah,
hit.
yeah,
He had hits. So
yeah. I was talking. I mean, yeah, that was it was fun to watch. But after that, he just couldn't get that consistency going.
well, part of what you have to look at too, like Austin Wells, for instance, his rookie campaign towards the back end of the season, he caught a lot of games and his bat stunk. I think he was just
Yeah,
straight worn out. And I think
yeah.
that's why they had a uh, delay for him catching spring training games,
Oh
is
yeah,
to preserve his stamina so that he had something in the tank come the end of the season.
yeah. I mean, you're catching what 145 out of 162 games. That's gonna wear you out.
I dropped the link one more time. I know we're coming close to closing out, but if there is anyone out there that wants to come up and has something to say, you're welcome and I'd appreciate it.
But yeah, no, and but I also do want to caution, a lot of fans out there that with these young kids, give them time. Let's see what they got. Let let's ride with Dominguez and Vivas and whoever else. Let the kids play the whole season, and whatever happens, let it be. Because I mean,
You don't get
you
better
seen
if you don't play.
right, but also you seen how it is with Julio Rodriguez. He broke out his rookie, and superstar, and then but then he's kind of fell off or fell back down to earth the last couple of seasons. Um, but they were treating him like the next King Griffey when he came out as rookie.
Well, different fans, different venues have different unrealistic expectations.
Oh yeah,
And Yankee fans are no different than any of the rest,
oh yeah. No, I mean, look at
especially
it.
with young Jason Dominguez and his next Mickey Mantle routine that they've been running. Fans have been running.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, you're gonna get the guys like Aaron Judge every once in a while, generationally. Um, but then you're gonna get other players, but let them be players. I mean, yeah, I've gotten caught up a couple of times where I'm like, hey, this guy reminds me of Jeter or Posada or some of the greats, right? But then I'm like, wait a minute, am I really comparing them? Am I comparing a pitcher like Hill to Pedro or the Rocket?
Well, the body of work isn't there, that's for sure.
Right. I mean, it's fine to be excited about what they're doing, but like, and there's one thing to kind of compare them, but the next thing is to hold them right next. Like you remember when Cal Ripken retired, right?
Yeah, of course.
Remember the address? I think we were playing the Yankees, and then he was giving an address, or we were playing the Orioles, but I can't remember if it was Yankees, whatever. But when he retired, the Yankees were honoring him. You seen the respect he was giving giving Luke Gehrig, even though he broke Luke Gehrig's record, the consecutive game streak,
Yeah.
and that respect, he was like, "Hey, I don't, I'm not, I'm not totally worthy to be in the same breath with him, but it's an honor to be in the same breath with, Luke Gehrig." And yeah, that's one of the things I really love about baseball is you find a lot of these players have that same respect for the legends.
Well, I tell you what, baseball has changed drastically, especially with the free agency. Back when I was a kid, you pretty much you played for a team, you stayed with the team your entire career. Well, that doesn't really exist anymore. Look at the Juan Soto as a player. He's 26 and is on his fourth team.
Right.
Generational talent, allegedly. Uh, I always thought the generational talent included defense. However, to each his own. I mean, I look at Aaron Judge, and I would call him a generational talent. His hitting is incredible. His fielding is incredible. Although he doesn't have a Gold Glove, but I predict that he's going to get one this year.
Yeah.
And I suspect that he might repeat as MVP if he holds the fort, similar numbers to last year.
Yeah. I mean, and then who's gonna kind of challenge? Is Mike Trout gonna stay healthy enough?
Don't know.
But with Judge, I mean, with his defense and not getting a Gold Glove, I think as far as the league, because his offense is so elite, and his numbers, I think it overshadows his defense. And then I think some of the voters for the Gold Glove were giving him a hard time because he played so much the last 2 seasons in center field that they really didn't give him the love. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean, because when you look at the way the runners, when he's got the ball, they don't try to, unless they think they can make it. But they don't run on them.
I want to address this comment from Lou. Some fans want to give Volpe a long-term contract. Imagine being stuck with that. Well, it is a risk any which way you look at it, Lou. If you look at the Atlanta Braves organization, they have got a lot of fantastic players that are locked up on cheap contracts, well under market value, and the team is going to stay together for a lot of years, and that's how they'll compete because they can't afford to go out and spend $700 million on a player or almost $800 million on a 15-year deal. So their scouting, their development system are top caliber, and it's worth it for them.
Mm-hmm.
For the Yankees, let's see, we gave a long-term contract to Severino, who stayed hurt a lot of his plus years, and it didn't work out for us. Volpe hasn't truly shown us what he can do as a major league player. So, I mean, I certainly wouldn't want to give him a long-term contract. You have to prove it to me.
Yeah.
If you want me to show you the money, you actually have to prove it. And for Volpe, that may be this year. He's got people that are coming up behind him, and some maybe lateral even, with George Lombard Jr., who is a natural shortstop. If Volpe doesn't produce, that could be his goose being cooked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think with Volpe, the last 2 seasons, these next 2 seasons, this season and next season, that really make it break it for him. And then to the point with the long-term contracts, like the Braves, one of the guys they locked up was that Acuna, who's got like superstar talent and gets superstar treatment, but the man's injured with big injuries almost every season.
Yeah, he's had a few injuries here recently.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think last season he went down with MCL or whatever, his knee or something on a play, and then was tagged out. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, he's just. But I mean, if it's a risk because you never know with injuries, that's always a wild card, an X factor. But then also you got other guys like Michael Harris or I think they got him on a trade, but Albies and a few other of those homegrown guys. But they're giving the Braves have always kind of done that long-term contracts. I mean, they did it in the 90s, you know,
Yep.
with Chipper and Andrew and those guys. So yeah, it was, but it is the thing, and the Yankees seldomly do it, but it did with Severino. It did bite them in the in the butt. So
All right, fellas, we have eclipsed the 1 hour mark, and I'm going to shut the stream down. I want to thank Sean for coming up and helping support me with today's discussion points. And I'd like to thank all of you for coming into the stream and putting your comments out. Most appreciated. Thank you for supporting the channel. You guys are what makes this able to happen. If you haven't, please hit your likes if you enjoyed the content. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Share the channel out with your friends. They may find value in the content. And afterwards, after the stream is shut down, if you miss saying something, drop a post. I try to do my best to answer them, but like I said, I want to thank all of y'all for the support, and we will have our next live stream on Thursday. Hopefully, more people want to come up. The second game of the season is of the Major League season is tomorrow at 6:15 a.m. I am not sure if I'm going to call that one yet or not. Just keep your heads up and look for a notification. If I'm going to do it, I'll probably make the call before 10 this evening. Thank you, and I appreciate it. And we will talk to you on the flip side. Have a great afternoon.